Hi everybody, and welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis, and you're in for a special treat this week because this is theme week, and the theme is Peer into the Abyss. This is where I take one of my favorite cards and we construct multiple different unique decks all around it, all for the entire week. And so let me explain this card, because this is going to be the centerpiece. It costs 7 mana to get down. It's a sorcery. 3 of it has to be black mana. The target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life. You round up each time. So if you have 19 life, right, you're going to lose 10 life. It'll be 9.5 rounded up. So you go from 19 to 9. It's important to know that you can play it either on yourself as a target player or on the opponent. And that gives you a couple of different ways to win. Okay, I'm going to lead off this week with the normal way that people are used to winning by combining this. Okay, so the winning combination is to use Peer into the Abyss with Underworld Dreams. So we have a deck that has 4 copies of Underworld Dreams. You put Underworld Dreams down first, and every time the opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. So you combine that, as long as you have this card down, by the time you can play Peer into the Abyss, then you make them draw half their library. So say they have 40 cards left. Say they're at full life, at 20 life. Say they have 40 cards left in the library. They draw 20 of them, right? Then they lose half of their 20 life points, so they're down to 10, and they're taking 20 points of damage. 1 point per each card that they just drew. Okay, so it basically turns it into a 1-turn kill as soon as you got everything set up. So we're looking to get this down by turn 7, and there is a way to get it down by turn 6 earlier, and that's what this deck is about. So we will go ahead and go through. We've got only 10 creatures, 23 lands, so we're 1 cheap normally on what they give us for lands. One of those lands is a Castle Locthwain, so when we get a chance, if we run dry of our hand, we'll just start drawing a card each turn anyway. Okay. For the 1-drops, we have some removal. Bloodchief's Thirst. We have Duskwilder. That's one of our few creatures. That's if we get a chance to have him attack, he's a great 1-drop, and all you need is 1 mana to boast, and the opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So he's really worth the value for that. Foulmire Knight is also a 1-drop, but it costs 3 to do his instant adventure, where you draw a card and you lose life. I actually try to hold on to him and do the adventure before I cast him if I can. 3 other 1-drops, Serrated Scorpion, where this is mostly just chump blockers, because a lot of times we're dealing with a lot of creatures and they're bigger than 1/2s. So, we'll cause 2 damage to our opponent, we'll gain 2 life, and we'll probably lose all of it before we get our combination in place. But, we do what we can. 1 copy of Erebos' Intervention. This is where we can, say we have 5 mana down, we can give a target creature -4/-4, and we gain that much in life. 1 copy of Agonizing Remorse to see what we're up against and maybe take away a powerful card that they have in their hand. 1 copy of Epic Downfall to exile a target creature. This is good for taking out Indestructibles. Feed the Swarm. This is mostly for enchantments. We do lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. So if we have to take out like a shark enchantment, that'll cost us 6 life. That's tough, but we do what we have to survive. 2 copies of Heartless Act. 2 copies of Lithiform Blight. I may be the only person that plays this card. I've got this in 2 or 3 decks. I've only seen it used against me like once or twice in the last year and a half. But you put it on either your card or your opponent's card. In this case, I put it on my opponent's card. Their enchanted land loses all land types. So if they have a trickery land, which is getting real common with the D&D expansion, they're going to lose all the value that that land has, and I get to draw a card. Now they still get to choose any mana type that they want, but they'll have to pay 1 life for that privilege. 1 copy of Wishclaw Talisman. This one you have to be careful with because they get a chance with it after you do. So it has 3 wish counters on it. If I don't have one of the 2 cards I need in my hand, if I don't have Underworld Dreams and I don't have Peer into the Abyss, okay, then I use Wishclaw Talisman to go get one of them. I have to time it right because they can then take it, get control of Wishclaw Talisman, and they can activate it and get the card they want. So I'm hoping that they don't know what my combination is when I go to make my move. 1 copy of Mazemind's Tome to keep drawing through the deck. 1 copy of Elspeth's Nightmare. Takes care of a lesser opponent and lets me get rid of a card from their land. 2 copies of Foreboding Fruit. You can play this on them when Underworld Dreams is out and cause them to draw more cards and lose more life. I usually play it on myself to dig through my own deck. One copy of Suffocating Fumes is take care of the 1/1 swarms. One copy of Vargoth Bloodsky Sire, Legendary Rogue. If you have more copies of this, it might be worth putting another copy in, even though we're at 63 cards already. I like him for both the Death Touch and the Boast. So when he goes to attack, it doesn't really matter if he dies or not, as long as I have enough mana to boast and go look for one of the cards that I need. Sometimes I have both of the pieces of the combination, but I don't have 7 lands yet, so I've actually used him to boast and look for land, just to get the winning combination in place. It sounds weird to use boast to actually go look for land, but sometimes it helps you win. One copy of Woe Strider. This is a pretty good card. You know, it's I don't want to describe this card. I've really grown to appreciate this card as a utility player, so to speak. 3/2 is okay to start with. He gets the 0/1 white goat creature that you can just scry and dig through your deck, and the ability to exile 4 of the cards from your graveyard and escape and bring him back as a 5/4 creature later is very handy. One more card of Grim Tutor. Sometimes I don't get the chance to use this if my health is really low, because you have to pay 3 life to use it. But again, this is all based around the idea of searching for your winning combination and getting it in place. Okay, 4 copies of the Underworld Dreams. 1 copy of Blex. We're not going to bother with the green side of the card. We're going to use the Search for Blex Sorcery, where you can look at the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Every card that you keep in your hand, you lose 3 life for. So if you want to keep 5 cards, it's going to cost you 15 life. Again, just another way of digging through your deck real fast to get this specific combination out. This card enables you to get it out and play Peer into the Abyss on turn 6 if you've got everything in place. Alter the Pantheon. You bring it down, devotion to each color is increased, and you get to add 1 mana of any color, which means if you have 6 lands in this on your 6th turn, you can play and win the game. 1 copy of Replicating Ring, also 1 mana of any color. If the game starts to go into overtime, by the time you get to the 8th turn, when you get 8 night counters on it, you remove all of those, you get 8 colorless snow artifact tokens. They're all named Replicated Ring, and suddenly you've got like twice as much mana as you had before. Really can increase your ability to use Erebos' Intervention if you haven't used that yet. Okay, the 4 drops. Eat to Extinctions, removal, exile card, extinction event, board wipe for odds or evens for mana value. Skull Raid to discard. I like to actually foretell this and then hold on to it until my enemies emptied their hand, which happens a lot, and then I use it, and I get to draw 2 cards instead. Vengeful Reaper, that has Flying, Death Touch, and Haste. Drag to the Underworld, 1 more spotter removal. Eradicator Valkyrie, in case we have these pesky planeswalkers. Also, we're going up against more flyers, so that's one of my few defenses against flyers. 1 more search card for the 5-drop, Coveted Prize. This works better if you have other creatures in your party, the Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, or Wizard. I don't bother with that. I usually just have 5 mana. You just go get the exact card I want and bring it out. And then I got 2 copies of Peer into the Abyss. Now, this may seem a little strange because you're asking, Travis, if this is part of your winning combination, why don't you have 4 copies of the card? That's just crazy. Well, it's not, because sometimes you can have 2 of these in your opening hand, and that's with only 2 copies in the entire deck, and you can get the 2 most powerful cards dealt to you in the first 7 cards. So you don't really want 4 copies of this in your hand because it causes more problems than it's worth. It's a lot better to actually have smaller, less costing cards like Grim Tutor, like Witchclaw Talisman, and like Coveted Prize, or using the ability of Vargoth, to all go search for that specific card. There's very few ways for them to counter this except for the blue counter spells if they got mana free, and usually we're pretty careful about that kind of thing. So that's the opening deck. This is the quickest way that we can sort of get the combination down and win. We're going to show you other deck combinations throughout the week that utilize different colors as well, just to show you the variety of ways that you can do things. But we're going to take this deck out for a spin. So in the meantime, click like if you haven't clicked like yet. If you haven't hit subscribe, hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified that we've got other new content coming out, there's another button to click too. So find that button and click that button, because YouTube doesn't have enough buttons for you to click. All right, here we go. Okay, the magic number is 7. there's 5 with replicating ring. They're looking at him. What are you going to do to him? Interesting choice. That may be a counterspell, and that may be a problem for us. We're actually kind of okay with that, though. Okay, you come down. Both, so we can look for a card. Okay. He kept 2 mana open. Is one of those a counterspell? Let's find out. So maybe those are Doom Scars. Yeah, Cosmos Charger. Let's see. This is more important. Give us a card draw. You finally have a counterspell. I can't use Grim Tutor anymore. He'll kill me next turn. Bingo. We've got the 7 mana. We've got the Underworld Dreams out. We just affirm to be not holding a counterspell at this particular point in time. Ta-da! We've got to wait for him to look through all of his cards to see if there's anything he can do. And there isn't. And we got somebody turning into a rude little roper, don't we? Thank you. Okay, I'm not sure that I like just having 2 lands, but it happens more often than I like. We can at least put down Mazemind Tome. There we go. Now this is a good setup because a lot of times you'll hear me complain about how I only have 1 big card in my deck and they already give it to me at the very beginning. Why do they do that? But this one's part of my winning combination, so I'm okay with having that at the very beginning. Let's see, what can I do? I can do the 1-drop here, and I can foretell this now, so that uses all my mana. I'm saving Mazemind Tome. I'll scry if he has something that destroys the artifacts. You hate to lose it that early, but I need to get a little bit of defense here. I don't have any removal yet. Okay, he prevents the life loss with the exile. Oh, he's got his own. How nice for him. Alright, we will bring down Replicating Ring. And we're going to start to need some help soon, aren't we? Okay, that card is too late. It's probably not going to be useful to us. Let's put down Will Strider just because we got 2 creatures. We got a little bit of blocking going on. He's spending a lot of time looking at him. Alright. Take out one of you, block one of you, and then we'll get rid of you to go scry. That blocks the damage still. Ah, exile, that's good. 1 creature removed. One creature destroyed. Okay, I'm going to start using the scry now just to see what we got coming up. Death Touch? I'll take him. Let's see. Let's go ahead and lose 1 more life. And then we'll bring it down. Let's see what else we got coming up. Okay, I need the land. Definitely need the land, so we'll take it. Hopefully he doesn't have another removal. He does. That's going to be game. Don't care about Croxa too much. Maybe we could have forestalled that if we were willing to use Maze Mind Tome earlier, so let that be a lesson to me and you. Don't be afraid to scry with Maze Mind Tome if they're getting a lot of creatures down. Two lands again and Maze Mind Tome again. Alright. Well, let's see if I learned my lesson. The land of his choice. He chooses the same as me. Very interesting. Alright, this version of Red-Black Treasure deck sometimes has some creatures that come back from the grave. So we're actually looking forward to using this to go get rid of somebody. You managed to get 2 creatures down by the second turn. Not too shabby. Let's see what else you got. Soul Shatter, which we don't care about. Immersturm. We can get rid of him. Okay, we're going to scry now. Lithoform Bright. Alright, we'll keep it. It replaces itself, so maybe we can give him little fits with his land. It pays 1 life to create a token, huh? More land, we'll take it. Bring down Hoarding Motor. Kind of expected that. Yeah, that's whenever he attacks. So, we'll just make sure he doesn't attack. Go to exile. Yeah, we'll take that guy next. We don't need to scry because we already scried. Okay. He's using a lot of black, so let's do that. Put that down, and that's an instant, so let's wait and see what he does. He might use Soul Shatter. That's kind of bad to use a 3-mana card on a 1-mana on a 1-mana card. Is he going to get another swamp? Yep, because he doesn't want to pay the costs with the Lithoform Blight. Okay, let's go and take care of the Menace guy. You can pay a life and create a treasure token, but to get the black land you'd have to pay 2 life. He's getting +2. Okay, he doesn't have trample though, and I was going to block him anyway. So that works just fine for me. Let's dig through our deck. Draw another card. Put down another blocker. If I sacrifice this guy, he still loses the 2 life and I gain the 2 life. I don't care in the slightest about losing. That only helps me, really. Even life. Even face, even life total. Okay, now what do we want to do? Now, I think we want to kill somebody. We want to drain their life. Goodbye, Zorn. And that's good enough. Okay, we need one more land, and we need one each of the 2 pieces of our combination. Ouch. Alright, we have 7 lands. We are getting rid of that pesky creature. We'll draw one more card, get our 4 life back. After all that, all those attacks, we've still got more life than they do. Their life total is kind of irrelevant, you know. They're going to lose half of it, and then we're going to make them draw. Okay. Shall we get some life back? And that's all we're going to do this turn. I don't think I want to kill her. She doesn't have any treasures. And the rest of this is probably removal. Bingo. I got the 1 card I want, so now let's go get the other card I want. Just biding our time. Got the land first, got the search card, got the second part of the winning combination. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Do you have a way to get rid of my enchantment? You do not. Treasure-based deck, based on the new D&D. Not good enough. Target them. They lose half their life rounded up, so they'll lose 7 points. They'll go down to 6. And they'll draw 20 cards. He likes the combination. It sounds like he hasn't seen it before. There's no real way for black and red to stop that now. And it won't take them to -14, it'll stop them at 0. And that's a classic example of how we survive long enough to get all the pieces into place. Yet again, just the 2 lands, but we do have 2 removals for the early part if we need to, and we've got 1 piece of the winning combination already. And now we can cast every card in our hand, basically. So that's worth a shot. Let's see. We want to get down Underworld Dreams while we can. We might have to worry about counter spells. So we always do the most important spells when they're tapped out. He might have something that can send it back up to him. Cycling the Shark Typhoon. Interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? That's power 2 or less, so that gives us an opening to go look at his deck. We'll take it. You don't normally see Shark Typhoon cycle to create a 1/1 flyer at the very beginning. That kind of tells me that he might have a weak hand. Okay, non-creature, non-land. Ooh, look at that. Serpentine Curve. Let's get rid of the pesky Planeswalker. That's usually the biggest problem. Put down Ultra while we have a chance. And Verigot. Now he can return target creature or enchantment, but he doesn't have a counterspell after that. I'm okay with that, actually. That hurts a little, but we have the combination now. You go away. You resolve that. You don't get to bring anything back, so this card becomes worthless. And we get to attack. And if we get to attack, that also means we get to boast. And this is where we're going to go get a land. And land goes on top of our deck. Excellent. Why do I like that? Because I'm counting that he doesn't have another one of those handy. And if he does, I don't care because I can go get another one real quick. Do you have a counterspell? Oh, the suspense is killing me. Okay. Okay, we're gonna boast again. He's counting my lands. Does he know what's coming up? I can still get to boast. He did have another one of those handy. shocking is fine. I'm gonna get the other one. Now I'm counting against him having 2 counter spells in a row. He's tapped out, so we're good to go. And that's how it's done. Case study number 4 in the bag. General Panda, what a cute name. General Panda, for such a cute name, you get a hello. Alright, going first with only 2 lands is not the greatest, but I do have Epic Downfall. And technically I should have done this last turn, but didn't hurt us. We didn't have anything else to do this turn. Ooh. Okay, now he might have a snakeskin. Let's try this though and see what happens. He does, yes, snakeskin veil. Green has that a lot. He probably has 4 copies of that sucker, which is kind of too. Snakeskin veil alone can cost you an entire game. As you can see, 6 points on turn 3. Pretty bad. Well, turn 4. Okay, so what can I do? You might have removal. Gigantosaurus, which is almost as bad. An 8/8 and a 10/10. You don't mind losing the 8/8, huh? He doesn't have trample. He thinks it'll clear the way for the 10/10. Okay. We do this on our turn. If he's got a snakeskin veil, he's got to play it now or he's going to lose it. That's the trick. Okay, there's his snakeskin veil. We get priority. Wasted his snakeskin veil, got rid of the creature. He loses 1 card, we get another. Perfect. Come on. Come and hit me. You know you want to. Alright, I hope he doesn't have another Gigantosaurus. We're going to put down Altar of the Pantheon, so we got 7. We got that. Next turn, we go looking... Well, next turn we'll probably kill somebody. But then after that, we go searching for the rest of our combination. 6 plus 1 equals 7, so we can cast it. We just need to get it. Preferably before he kills us. Okay, let's go ahead and get all of our life back now that we can, which is 6. Got a sort of balanced board state going on a little bit here. Well, maybe I should have kept that spell for Elder Gargrowth. Alright. We have to go looking. We didn't get what we wanted, but we did get that one. Let's just take that. Go ahead and play that card because we can. We already got it. Perfect. Saw that coming. Okay, there's our blocker. Go get the winning card. As long as he doesn't have something to destroy my enchantment, I'm good. More ramp. Perfect. You don't really need more land this deep into the game. That's why there are very few decks where I actually put Cultivate 4 copies in my deck. Yep, we do want to do it with him. 7 damage? Sorry, General Panda. Cute name, but you still gotta go. Can you prevent 28 damage? No, you can't. And that's how the deck works at its fastest. Alright, as I said, keep tuning in the rest of the week. This was the fastest way to get it out. You've got the extra artifacts that give you a little bit of mono ramp. We're going to explore other ways to do mono ramp, other ways to use the card. It's going to be a fun week. So just keep tuning in. So if you haven't hit the notification bell, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you see the very next deck that comes out. This is one of my favorite cards in the entire series. I think we lose it with the September rotation coming up. So I'm playing all of these decks now while I have the chance. We want to show you the versatility of the card and the different combinations that you can use it for. So hopefully you liked this one. I like playing this deck. You can even play this competitively sometimes. I haven't tried it out with the recent expansion to see how it's doing with the meta. But I might do that. I might take it out for a spin in competitive ranks even. Other than that, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tune in next time because there's always going to be another deck right around the corner at Tpull's Corner. Have a good one.